Actually, if my roommate shows up, I'm gonna stop reading this instantly. Just so you know.
Oh, you gotta keep going. In fact, look him in the eye as you read it.
Chapter 1. Sonic woke up and looked at the clock. 7 o'clock, it said, and Sonic screamed, "I'm late for school! I have to get to school now!" said Sonic, jumping out of bed. Sonic put his clothes on really fast and ran out of his room because he is fast. "No time for breakfast," said Sonic as he ran past Sonic's mom. "You'll regret this," said Sonic's mom, leering at him from the kitchen stove, wearing aprons and oven mitts on her hands. Sonic did not care. He was late. Sonic ran outside and ran to the bus stop, where people were getting on the bus. "Tails, Knuckles, wait for me," said Sonic as he ran towards the bus. "Hey, Knuckles, it's Sonic," said Tails to Knuckles at the bus stop. "He is late," said Knuckles. 1 second. "He's late," said Knuckles to Tails before getting on the bus. Sonic ran so fast to the bus, and he got on the bus after Tails. "Just in time," said Sonic, huffing and puffing like he was doing the Cupid shuffle for the first time. What the hell is this Cupid shuffle? Sonic sat down next to Tails, and Knuckles sat behind them, taking up both seats. "I'm so bad," said Knuckles, laughing because he sat where 2 people could sit. Knuckles did this every day and no one bothered him, but they all knew it was against the rules of both man and God. Okay. The bus started and drove at the school and parked, and they got out. "We're at school now," said Tails. "It is time to go to class." Sonic was also at school, so he went to his first class of the day, English class. Sonic did not like English very much, but he did not know any other but he did not like any class very much that was not about running and going fast, which is what Sonic does best. Sonic got to his class and sat down in his seat. "It is journal day," said Sonic's English teacher, Mrs. Lesson. Mrs. Lesson was tall and white and had gray hair, and she was not pretty. "Take out your journals and put them in a pile, and I will read one of your entries to the class." Sonic took out his blue journal and ran to the front quickly and put his journal on her desk, and ran back to his desk, all with his head down and not talking or looking at anyone. Sonic was so fast that he did it first. Everyone else did it afterwards and slower. Mrs. Lesson grabbed a journal from the pile, and Sonic knew that was his because it looked just like Sonic's journal. So Sonic knew this because he had written it in it so many times it was crazy. Mrs. Lesson opened up a totally random page, and it was the worst page she could pick. She began to read, "Dear Journal, I called the doctor today about a problem. I have a problem with my balls. They are itchy, and it is difficult to sit still with them because they are so itchy." I can't do this. Save me. "I have to back up against stucco surfaces and rub up and down on them to relieve the itchiness. No creams have worked. Creams only make my balls smell like the breath of a thoroughbred, and I think Amy, my girlfriend, noticed. I hope my doctor calls. Love, Sonic." "Oh no, stop reading," said Sonic, but he'd reacted too late because it was already read, all of it. Everyone in the class laughed, and Sonic felt like an idiot asshole because now everyone knows about his ball problems. Sonic felt his rage build up inside him like a pool of lava and volcano. "Stop laughing at me! Don't tell anyone!" shouted Sonic, but everyone was laughing so loud that they did not hear him, and Sonic was so embarrassed and mad and sad, but more embarrassed, so he ran out of the class fast. Sonic ran to his locker and opened it and screamed into it. He screamed, "This sucks!" and cursed words too. "What is the problem?" said Tails. "Are you mad?" said Tails. Sonic was mad, so he nodded. "You should tell everyone that it's okay to have problems with their balls, and that they probably have problems that you do not want everyone to know about too, so stop laughing at me," Sonic thought. Tails was right, because Tails is smart. Knuckles was there too, so he said, "Sonic, what is this I heard about you're having problems with your penis and balls?" Sonic was so mad again, he punched Knuckles and ran away quick. I can't do this. How do I get past this? Okay. Where Sonic ran to was his next class. It is now second period, so it was okay. And that class was history class. Sonic did not care about history class. "Hey, Amy," said Sonic, "check me out." And Sonic did a dance move. "Wow, cool, let's kiss," said Amy. And Amy kissed right there in the class. And some of the other people in the class watched, but the teacher wasn't there yet, so they didn't get in trouble. And who's gonna tell Sonic he can't kiss his girlfriend in class? Amy kissed Sonic so hard that he was thinking, "Let's have sex." But he didn't say it because the teacher would show up by the time they started have sex in history class. Sonic kissed. I can't do this. This is so bad. Sonic kissed back really hard and it was sexy to everyone. The teacher arrived and they did class, but Sonic just looked at Amy the whole time, who was sitting next to Rogue. Amy and Rogue talked and they looked at Sonic sometimes and laughed. And Sonic thought Amy was telling her about how awesome Sonic kissed her, but it was not. Rogue was telling Amy about Sonic's gay ball problems, and Amy was Sonic's girlfriend, but she thought it was the funniest thing ever. Class ended and Sonic went to Amy real quick and did not stop on the way. "Hey Amy, why do you go telling Rogue about how hard we kiss?" Smiley face, said Sonic, with a smile on his face that meant he did not care that Amy did this and really wanted her to because it made him look cooler. "Actually, Rogue was telling me about the problems with your balls and penis and butthole that everyone found out about in your English class." Wow, Sonic was surprised. He did not know what to say. Chapter, oh no. Oh my god, it's still chapter 1. Just page 2, I get. How many pages are there? I guess too many. Oh no, it's chapter 2. Sonic High School, chapter 2. The rest of the day for Sonic was awful. So bad that it was that Sonic went home and went straight. Oh my god. How do I read this? Like, seriously. So bad it was that Sonic went home and went right to the bathroom and took a big poop. It was a mad poop because it went out fast. It shooted out of his butthole so fast that it was like a gun shooting. His poop stunk so much that even the neighbors could smell it. And they all had a meeting that night about what to do about it. And they decided that they would just put fans on the outside, and if it really started to smell again, they would do something else. So Sonic pooped and went to his room and shouted into his pillow, "I hate everything." Sonic shouted loud and he heard a knock at his door. "What is wrong, Sonic?" asked Sonic's mom. "Nothing," said Sonic. "Okay, just keep it down because I'm trying to watch the TV," said Sonic's mom to Sonic, and left without saying anything else. Sonic was in his room, so he looked out to the window and saw Tails flying there with his flying tails. 1 second.
There it is.
Hmm?
I said there it is.
Where did I leave off? Sonic, are you okay? Asked Tails. I was worried about you, Sonic. Sonic was less mad because Tails was always nice and smart and didn't care that Sonic left his porns around in his room so he could think about kissing and doing sex on Amy when he wasn't with Amy. Please be happy, said Tails. Are you there? Sonic went to the window and opened the window. Sonic grabbed Tails and put him in the bed because Sonic is strong too. This day is the worst, said Sonic. Everyone thinks I'm a gay loser because I gave them my journal. Sonic cried a little and Tails put his hand under his face to catch his tears. Tears can stain a carpet. Tails hugged Sonic and said, I'm always here for you. The promise tonight also. Wow, I forgot, said Sonic. Sonic ran to his closet fast and pulled out his prom uniform, its tuxedo, and put it on faster. Is our limo here yet, Tails? Said Sonic while looking at Tails. Yes, said Tails right back. Let's go. And Sonic went outside with Tails, who was also in prom clothing, and they went outside and got in the limo. The limo was broken, said the limo driver, who looked like a person but darker colored. I remember this line. Sonic and Tails got out of the limo and asked the limo driver if they can fix it. Nope, the limo is broken eternally, said the limo driver. So Sonic grabbed Tails' hand and said, let's go, and ran all the way to the prom, which was on an island called Ghost Island. This place is scary, said Tails. Ghost Island was really scary. It was shaped like a skull, and everything looked like it was dead. Sonic looked at Tails. Yeah, it is, said Sonic. Why would thee put the prom on this island, said Tails. I don't see anyone else from the school here. Tails and Sonic were both worried about it all. Sonic and Tails walked forward, and there was a haunted house. Sonic and Tails went into the haunted house, and it was spooky. Sonic saw a ghost, and Tails saw a mummy. There was a man laughing. Ha ha ha! Sonic and Tails, now you're both here and fallen right into my trap, said the man laughing. The man looked like a fat, immature gay. It was Eggman. Eggman, why are you here? Asked Sonic and shouted at Eggman. Are you here for the Chaos Emeralds? Sonic shook his fists at Eggman, and Tails ran at him, but what an idiot he was, because a cage fell down from the top of the sky and trapped Tails. You're doomed now, said Eggman. Welcome to a graveyard of you.
I actually like that one.
It's so bad. It's so bad. Sonic was shocked, but did not run forward because he did not want to get caught too. But what if Eggman did not have another cage? Sonic did not know, so he went to the side into a different room. The room was smaller and had carpets and wallpaper. It was still scary, though. Sonic said, I need to find a way out and save Tails. And he walked into a door that was on the next wall. Next thing, said Sonic. And he came out of the room into the same room he was in. This is a haunted house, so you always come back to the same place, said Sonic, thinking of a famous saying he saw once on a wall of a Walgreens where it was written. Eggman laughed and pointed at Sonic. I kissed Amy, and now you can never date her again because I'm going to do the sex to her tonight. No, this can't be real, said Sonic. Sonic knew that he had to do something, but what? Chapter 3. Sonic ran to the fastest right to Dr. Eggman, right through his traps, and jumped at the floating platform that Eggman was standing on. I'm coming for you, said Sonic, and he jumped up right to the middle platform, and got so close but fell because it was too high to reach, even for Sonic. Sonic said, damn, and ran up to the staircase that was in the middle of the big room that were under Eggman. Sonic ran to the top, and at the top he jumped again from a higher spot, and this time reached the platform because it was easier to get to it. Now you are mine, shouted Sonic right into Eggman in his ear. I'm not going to fall off this easily, said Eggman, who then grabbed a crystal remote control out of his pocket and pressed a button on it that made a dome of lasers around Eggman. Get out of here, yelled Eggman. I am Eggman, and I will have my way with the treasures of this island, said Eggman. Eggman flew up higher on his platform, and Sonic had already fell from the lasers that were floating on the floating platform, so Sonic didn't get to go too. Eggman disappeared into a purple and black portal at the top of the ceiling, and Sonic was left at the bottom of the room, on the middle of the stairs. I need more water. 1 second. Yeah, it's water. Water. Fire water. Spicy water. Whatever you call it. Please don't. Amy still has to be here somewhere. I need to get Tails out of that locked cage, said Sonic, thinking about what he should do next. Sonic ran up the stairs really fast and down the hallway at the top of the stairs on the second floor. Sonic picked the door and ran into the door. The room Sonic ran into had a big picture of an old man on it, and he just looked so old that it was like seeing a skeleton right there. Sonic said, "This man probably died ages ago and left all his money from being in real estate to his sons who built this place." Sonic thought this was not the right room to be in, so he left it and went to the next room. This was the right room to be in. Sonic knew immediately. There was a big red bed, and Amy was tied with a rope around her feet and hands, and there was another rope around her head with a lock in her mouth, so she couldn't open it or say anything at all. Sonic ran right to the bed without doing anything before doing that, and untied Amy with his sonic speed. "I'm so glad you are here," said Amy. "This prom is not turning out like I had hoped it would when I bought this dress." Amy was wearing a pretty red dress that was like what she normally wears but longer. There were 2 flowers on the 2 shoulders. Amy's dress made her boobs look bigger, Sonic noticed. Sonic thought just for a moment that this was the perfect moment to get her to give sex to him, but he did not do it because Tails still needed help. "Where's the key to open Tails' cage?" said Sonic to Amy. "We need to open Tails' cage. He can't get out of the cage." "I saw Eggman putting a key in his safe behind the picture in the room you're just in," said Amy. "So let's go get it." Amy and Sonic ran to the next room, and Sonic got there first. He's the faster one in the relationship. Sonic punched his big strong hand right through the painting like a bodybuilder and found the safe behind the painting. "The safe needs a password," said Sonic. "What could it be?" Sonic thought loud and hard. Wait, no, not loud. Sonic thought long and hard about everything he knew about Eggman. He knew Eggman was a gay asshole who always ruined Sonic's plans to be the hero. And now he ruined Sonic's prom. Sonic tapped on his brain and thought harder. "Maybe the password is his name," said Amy. It was not, and Sonic knew it before Sonic put it in the safe lock. "I love her for her body," thought Sonic. Sonic thought harder and had an idea. "What if the password is Salk Sidalamrabi?" It's gibberish. Finally shouted Sonic at Amy next to him. Amy, who was there, said, "What does that mean?" Amy, Sonic's girlfriend, was confused. "Is Chaos Emeralds backwards? What he really wants but messed up, so we cannot guess it," screamed Sonic, so happy. Sonic typed in the password into the safe, and would you know it popped open, and there was this big key, so Sonic took it. Sonic ran down the stairs, and Amy did, and Sonic opened Tails' cage and got Tails out. "I'm so glad to be safe one again. Thanks to you, Sonic, the day is saved." Tails was smiling bigger than a crocodile having a silly dream. Okay, I actually like that one. That was a good line. But Sonic was not. "What's wrong, Sonic? Everything is right now," said Sonic. "Is Chaos Wait, no, not that. No, it isn't," said Sonic, so mad and sad. Eggman got away without real punishment for what he did. Sonic shook his face at the sky, thinking about how Eggman slipped away like a slippery balloon that Sonic let go of. But we are all safe, Amy said. That is what really matters. Sonic figured right then that Amy's superpower must be being nice, because he knew before it wasn't being smart, which Tails is best at, and Sonic is also good at too. Sonic did not even think about how his day at school was bad anymore because his balls did not really even itch anymore. Sonic laughed, Tails laughed, Amy laughed, and they went home ready for the next day of high school. Chapter 4. Sonic did like in the first chapter and went to school again. Now it's lunchtime, and Sonic was in the lunchroom. Sonic was telling all of the people at his table who were Tails, Knuckles, Shadow, Espio, and Charmy Bee about what did happen yesterday. But Tails already knew, so he was nodding his head like a good friend. Knuckles said, "No, wait. You should have seen it," said Sonic. "I was in the haunted house and shot Eggman, but I let him get away right before I could have killed him." Sonic laughed and Tails laughed at the same time. Knuckles said, "You should stop going on these cool adventures because high school is more important," said Knuckles. And Sonic knew he was right because it's called Sonic High School and it should be more about the high school part. So Sonic asked them what they're all up to. "Well, I am entering the science competition," said Tails. "To win the science competition, I have to come up with the best invention. And my invention is this invisibility hat. It makes you invisible, but I can't do it right now because I have to make sure it works perfect for the science competition." Tails was so smart, and Sonic knew that he would win the science competition because Tails is like Einstein. It's Einstein, but spelled really badly. Probably. "Nerd!" shouted Knuckles right into Tails' ear. What a bad guy. "I'm just hanging out and not going to class because I want to cause trouble," said Knuckles. Knuckles was so bad that he would cause trouble. Sonic thought Knuckles was a heck. Shadow was next because he was badder than Knuckles, but in a different way. "I am not going to be around much longer," said Knuckles. He always did. At the end of what he was saying because it was mysterious. "Where are you going?" said Tails, because he was curious. "I'm going to kill my parents," said Shadow. Oh my god. Oh my god. See, this is how Shadow is worse than Knuckles. He did serious bad things. At the end of the day, Knuckles could sleep. Shadow was too dark for that. "I'm going to try out for the football team," said Espio. Espio was athletic like Sonic, but not as fast, and he had a horn on his nose. That was good for attacking people in front of him, so Sonic thought he would be good at football. Oh my god. "I'm going to try out for the play," said Charmy Bee. Charmy Bee was loud and singing always. Oh my god. You're an annoying fag, so you should do great," said Knuckles. "Do not hurt my feelings," said Charmy. Charmy was used to being hectored, so he was able to remove himself from his potent fury. "Did you see Rogue just now?" said Espio. "She's looking so hot in her tiny bra." Espio obviously wanted to kiss her deep. "You should ask her out," said Sonic. "But the prom was yesterday," said Espio. "That's okay, you can date any time," said Sonic. "Oh," said Espio. Well, then I'm gonna kiss and sex her tonight." Espio was like a little boy looking at his mom's boob for the first time. Sonic and Tails together were both looking at each other, and they wanted to help Espio. We're gonna help you get a date, said Sonic and Tails at the same time simultaneously. And we're gonna do it right now, said Sonic and Tails. Sonic and Tails got up and both grabbed one of Espio's arms and dragged him across the room. Sonic did most of the dragging because he is stronger. What's this about? Said Ro with a questioning sound. She blinked her eyelids quickly like a race car. What do you want? Why are you here? Espio looked right into her eyes with passion like 100 barking dogs and said, Rogue, will you go out with me? Espio was sweating, and there was drops of sweat dropping from off his hands in front of her. I don't know, said Rogue, and looked at Espio. Rogue gave him a sexy look that made Espio feel in love. Please do it, said Sonic and Tails together at the same time. Okay, we can go on a date tonight, said Rogue. Sonic and Tails and Espio were stoked and high-fived right there. By the time this night ended, one of them would have done their first sex. Now here's the hard part, said Espio. How do I put sex in her without getting in trouble? Sonic and Tails looked at each other and thought, uh-oh. And Espio walked out while holding Rogue's boobies because they're now boyfriend and girlfriend and it's allowed to do it. Can I stop yet?
No. Proceed.
Okay. Chapter 5 of 25. It was the end of the day at school. It was time that Sonic and Tails and Knuckles got back on the bus at the bus stop to board it all the way home from school. We are on the bus now, said Tails. No more classes. Tails was happy and sad because he is smart. Sonic and Tails sat down together, and Knuckles sat right in the middle of the aisle, which he did usually not do, but sometimes did not everyone when everyone else was on the bus. What? I can't read this line. It doesn't make sense. It looked like Espio and Rogue were not on the bus because they were too busy getting ready to go sex tonight, and now that they are boyfriend and girlfriend, Knuckles laid across the aisle even more stretched out than when he just sat across two seats because now the limits were the Alpha and the Omega. How can we help Espio? Said Sonic to Tails. Tails responded, I don't know, and thought about it on the bus. The bus drove bumpy on the bumpful roads all the way home, and they all got out of the bus stop that they normally got in the bus at, just like always. Sonic ran out of the bus, and Tails and then Knuckles in order. Time to go home, said Tails. We are almost there. And they walked the rest of the way to home. When they got home, it was dinner time, and Sonic was at a different home from Tails and Knuckles, because they were all in different families, so they did not live together. And Sonic's mom made a dinner. Sonic's mom made Chinese food, and Sonic ate it at the end. And at the end, there was a fortune cookie, and Sonic broke it open and ate the cookie part, but kept the paper that was inside that held a magical fortune on it. Sonic looked at the fortune and read it to himself inside of his head. Oh my god. The path to glory The path to glory begins at the base of your friend's penis, said Sonic inside of his head, reading the fortune cookie paper. And he knew it was a good sign because it was about to happen tonight when oh my god. Tonight when Espio and Rogue went to sex. Then the phone ringed. Sonic ran to the phone and picked it up and said hello into it. It was Tails. I have an idea, said Tails on the phone to Sonic, who was listening but not speaking. I can give Espio my invisibility hat for the science competition, and he can use it to do sex for Rogue. Sonic smiled so wide, like the King of Fire finding out he burned down New York City with only his fire powers. Sonic and Tails went to Espio's house later, which was not too easy to walk to normally for most people. But Sonic is super fast, so he ran there and helped Tails get there too, seeing as Tails is not as fast as Sonic. They knocked on the door and Espio came out of the door. Here's my invisibility hat that you can use with Rogue tonight to make sex in. It makes it impossible to see and impossible to hear you when you are wearing the hat, or when someone who is wearing the hat wants you to also be impossible to see and impossible to hear, screamed Tails, whose voice was a little hoarse from ordering food with the lunch lady, whose hearing was lost in an earthquake in her childhood. Oh my god. Tails had to say the things he wanted so loud, and she would still say, "What?" And Tails wondered why she had even had ears if she wasn't going to use them. Oh my god. Espio grabbed the invisibility hat from Tails' hands and said, "Cool, thanks." And kept going, so Sonic and Tails left and wished him luck from far away at their own homes. Back at home, Sonic thought that it would be good that Espio would get sex into Rogue so that he could explain it to Sonic, and Sonic would know how to find Amy's sex spots even better, because otherwise he would just have to read about it online, because all he knew was kissing, which wasn't really sex. It was probably kind of the same thing, and Sonic would read about it online before talking about it anyway, and he would know the right words for the things then. Sonic sat on his chair that was in front of his Sonic computer and opened up Sonic Instant Messenger and messaged Amy, who was also doing the same thing, but at her home, and said, "Hey, Amy, want to finally become true boyfriend or girlfriend by reaching sex this weekend?" Sonic waited for a long time at his computer, and seemed like Amy was not there because she did not respond to anything. Sonic played games online and beat all the final bosses because he was like an alien sent to Earth to destroy records sent by others. And finally, Amy responded. What Amy said was, "No way," and Sonic was so shocked. His brain must have felt like a total idiot. Oh my god. Chapter 6. Espio walked to Rogue's house because it was time for their date together, and all Espio could think of was how they were going to make sex for the first time. Espio looked at the computer and read about what to do and what the right words were, so he would know how it works and how to say it right, so no one would make fun of him. It was Rogue's house he was at now, and it was in front of him. Espio knocked Rogue's house door. "I hope she is home," said Espio, and she was, and she opened the door just then. "Hello, I'm home," said Rogue, looking always sexy in her tiny baby bra and big cool boobs. Espio thought she looked like the hottest woman in the world that he could see from here. "Where are you taking me on our date tonight?" whispered Rogue in a sex-filled voice. Espio had thought this one over on the way over, so he could say it right the first time and get her to do what he wanted. That's sex. "Well," said Espio, "just let me put on this science hat and we will begin sex." Rogue looked shocked, but she was probably excited too. Espio could tell they both had an erection. Oh my god. Oh my god. "What?" said Rogue in a shock way. "Right here?" Espio said, "Yes, this hat was made by Tails specifically for our date. It makes it impossible to see and impossible to hear while I'm wearing it." Espio did a cool face at her, because being smart can be cool as long as you're not a nerd ass. Rogue said, "Okay, let's go inside," and gently grabbed Espio's hand, but he pulled it back, and she fell, causing him to fell, and they both together fell onto the grass, where they rolled around in it until they were in the middle of Rogue's house's front lawn, so there was plenty of room around them for activities. "No," said Espio, "I want to make sex in you right here." And Espio put on the invisibility hat so no one could see or hear them. And a new world of possibilities were optioned to them, so they could do sex in whatever way they wanted. And it was time to start sex right now. SBO revealed his penis to Rogue, who looked at it. Rogue said, "Cool," and took out her vagina. Oh my god. SBO's penis is really big from looking at Rogue. Like when he was in church and it's so boring, but you just get a boner anyways. Oh my god. Rogue's vagina looked like a surprised ghost. That's just fun. Okay. SBO's penis approached Rogue like a plane flying down to the airport, but instead of being full of businessmen, it was full of SBO's creamy Italian salad dressing. Oh my god.
Are you gonna make it?
I think it's just this chapter that's really bad. "Here it comes," cried SBO, ramming his mauve Avenger into Rogue's vagina. Rogue screamed sex noises. SBO messed around with her boobs and face like she was X-Men arcade game. SBO slammed his big awesome penis from side to side in her vagina like a hot dog windshield wiper. Rogue was ripping grass from the lawn. Then SBO used his tail to flip her over. He can do this. And put his penis into her butt. He moved his penis in circles in her butthole like he was building a golf course and digging out the back nine. Oh my god. Rogue was flapping her bat wings like an idiot and not flying because SBO was holding onto her ass cheeks and pressing them into them with his fingers and leaving marks that looked like it said "wow" when combined with the spot where her butthole was. Oh my god. And that is what she felt because SBO seemed like to be a sex professional. SBO used his tail again to flip her over and did all-star sex things, like using his penis as a rolling pin on her face and plugging his penis into her belly button to see how far it would go and making a balls hurricane with his balls and her balls. What? Finally, they both got so sexy that SBO's penis ejaculated, and semen came out of it and landed on Rogue, who was lying there on the lawn. But nobody could see them, so it was okay. At that part, SBO screamed, "It's semen time!" And Rogue shouted, "Create a generation in me!" SBO ejaculated semen into her vagina, and that's what happened. Now that they were done doing sex, they put their penis and vagina and balls away. And SBO took off the invisibility hat like it was nothing, like nothing ever happened. But they both know it did because they were there for it. Bye-bye, said SBO, and SBO walked off her property and away to his house and did the rest of his things until school happened the next day. Oh my god. This is so bad, man. Chapter 7. "We had front sex," whispered SBO to the people at his lunch table. SBO was at school in the lunchroom, and also was Tails and Knuckles and Charmy B and Vector too. "I ejaculated from my penis and into her body. Bet you haven't done that." They had not done that. "Wow, cool. You're the coolest after Sonic," said Tails, who was right there, so he didn't have to shout. It was good not to shout because it was supposed to be a secret. Tails did not hear the whole school talking about Espio's penis and balls, like with Sonic in Chapter 1, but in a different way. Parentheses, sex. Yeah, speaking of Sonic, where is that gay bag? Said Vector, who was captain of the school's football team. Vector was good at this because he was big and strong, and had sharp teeth under his mouth. Just kidding, said Vector's. Sonic is cool. God. I don't know, said Tails to Vector. Where Sonic was somewhere else, trying to find Amy, who was not at lunch. Sonic was knocking on Amy's door at her house. Are you home? Said Sonic. Are you home? It was like Amy was not home, because she was not opening the door. Sonic was worried about Amy because she was his only girlfriend, even if she denied his sex offer. So he ran into the door and barged it down like it was made of nothing. Sonic was now in Amy's house. Amy's house was really pink because that was Amy's color. Sonic looked around Amy's house for Amy, but Sonic could not find anyone. Sonic finally went to Amy's bedroom and opened up the door. What Sonic saw next was what he did not expect. Amy was there tied up on her bed with a thing in her mouth so she couldn't talk. Sonic did a scream and ran over to Amy, who was looking at his with tears in her eyes. She looked sad and starved like African kids.
Oh my god.
Okay. Sonic untied Amy, and she sat up and cried into Sonic's arms. It was awful, said Amy. He came into my room in the evening and tied me up on this bed and messed up the things in my room. Amy was right. Her room looked messy. So get a maid, said Sonic, always thinking about a solution to problems. Who tied you up? Who was it? Be calm, Amy. Calm down and talk to me. Sonic patted Amy on the back to help her. It was Shadow. I saw him outside his house next door with a machine gun and sword, going into his house to kill his mom, and he saw me. He knew I saw him, so he tied me up like a brigand. Amy said all of this. Sonic was shocked that Amy said this to him. He remembered now in the other part when Shadow said he was going to kill his mom, but no one thought more about it more than once because Shadow was always a bad guy. What they didn't realize was that Sonic was serious. Okay, was it him who also said that you would not have sex with me on Sonic Messenger? Said Sonic to Amy. Yes, I did not talk to you then, spoke Amy back to Sonic. So how do you really feel about it? Said Sonic, whose brain was now humming with sex ideas. I don't know, said Amy, all worked up. Give me a day, right now. Let's get things right. So Sonic and Amy went back to school where everyone else was beside them. Sonic and Amy saw Espio walking around between a lot of other people. Hey, here you are, said Espio to Sonic and Amy. I had sex with Rogue last night. Do not tell everyone, said Espio. Oh, that's right, you did. I almost forgot. Hear that, Amy? And Amy was like, yep. You gotta tell me more about it later, so I know what to do with Amy, said Sonic, and then turned around. Sonic heard a sound coming from down the hallway where someone was coming. It was a really fat guy that looked huge to him. The fat guy got closer and closer until they could see who it was, and it was Rogue. Wow, you're so fat now, said Espio. What's that about? Rogue looked mad and surprised at Espio. Well, you got me pregnant, said Rogue. Oh my god, thought Sonic to himself without saying it with voice. She is pregnancy fat. That means she will have a baby. Amy was smiling for real to Rogue. That is so nice. I hope you have a great baby, said Amy. Sonic tried to be a good boyfriend and said, hope your baby is cool, and smiled. Espio looked more worried than everyone else. So am I going to be your baby's dad? Said Espio. Worried and excited, both. Better believe it, fag boy, said a voice that sounded just like Shadow's. I need another drink. Shadow, Sonic shouted. It was Shadow, there. Surprised to see me? Said Shadow. We know what you did to your mother, screamed Amy like a crazy man. It was... Shadow cut her off and did not let her finish saying the sentence. You do not see anything. I am Shadow, and I know how to commit crimes. You think I have not killed a person before? I have. Shadow crossed his arms and sneered at Amy, looking at her. Oh my. But I saw you, then Amy said. You saw nothing. I stopped you, Shadow said. It doesn't matter. You were on your way inside your house to kill your mom, said Amy. Amy shook around because she was all nervous and her smaller than Rogue's but still good boobs wiggled a little, and Sonic thought it was cool to see, and he wanted to support her. I did not kill my mom. I was going into my house to protect her from Dr. Eggman, Shadow said. Ah, okay, said Sonic. And Sonic and SVO went to class because it started, and they're still in the high school hallway. He was trying to ship my Ultra Chaos Emerald shards to space so that he could collect them using his egg space station, said Shadow to Amy in an explaining way. We gotta do something about him. Understand that you had a reason to tie me up, but do not kill your mother, responded Amy. I was only kidding because the other guys were being being too important about themselves. And I did not think that is a good quality for high school students to be. High school students should be nice and caring and not talk about themselves like they are the best, because that will only make us all assholes, which isn't what we should be trying to be. Shadow said that to Amy, and she understood that he was a good guy and had reasons for tying it up on a bed, even if he had bad times when he was dark and did crimes in the cityscape. They both went to class in different directions, so the conversation ended. Oh my god. Later after school, Sonic went on Sonic Messenger and talked to SVO. Hey SVO, how are you? Do you know what you're gonna do about being for Rogue's baby? He said into the computer. Later, listen, Sonic. This is hard for me to say, said SVO into the computer, which went across the internet to Sonic. I want Rogue to get an abortion. Sonic was upset because Rogue's baby would not survive it. In fact, Rogue's baby would die. There has to be another way, SVO, said Sonic in Sonic Messenger. But if you really want to do it, it's okay because it's your decision. Good, because I want you to help me. I'm going to go to Rogue tomorrow at school and slip her the abortion pill in one of her meals. You will help me by distracting her from me, said SPO then. Okay, see you then, said Sonic. The next day happened and Sonic was at lunch. It's not abortion, it's just, there's no A in it. It's abortion. I won the science competition, but you didn't come, Sonic, said Tails in a sad, mad way. I wanted you to come because I am such a good friend to you, but you did not. But I won anyway without you. Tails was mad at Sonic, which usually did not happen because they are the best friends. Wow, sorry, Tails. I was busy and did not know, said Sonic, trying to make Tails happy again. Kiss my ass, dick, screamed Tails to Sonic and flew out the room with his flying tails. This is awful, said Sonic. He is my best friend. Sonic knew this was a big problem, but changed his mind to thinking about Rogue and Espio, and then went over to where Rogue was going to get the abortion pill from Espio. Vector was there too. This was weird because he was usually not. Okay, Espio, are you ready? Said Sonic only to Espio. Espio shook his head yes. Hey Rogue, how are you doing today? How was class? Do you have lots of homework? What are you eating for lunch? Said Sonic to Rogue to distract her from Espio. Looks like Sonic did perfectly because while he was asking these things, Espio took the abortion pill and put the abortion pill in Rogue's salad. Rogue ate salads because she is thin. Rogue answered the questions, but no one was paying attention because they were now glad it was done. Uh-oh. What is this? Said Rogue, suddenly looking like a shocked woman. What was wrong? Asked Espio. He was worrying that Rogue found the abortion pill in her salad and was looking at it. I think I'm having my baby. Here it comes. Rogue said this before she could even eat the abortion pill, so everyone knew the baby was coming for real. Oh no, said all of them together, but Rogue. Rogue lied down on the ground. They put a curtain around her so no one could really see what was going on, because it was going to be gross. They could see a baby start to come out of her butt, and it was crying a lot. Everyone wanted the baby to shut up already because they were just trying to have lunch. But now there's a baby coming out of the room at high school. Out of the lunchroom at high school. Mrs. Lesson, who was also the school nurse, said, "Get out of my way, kids. I have to help this baby get out of Rogue. Babies are too weak to do this by themselves." Mrs. Lesson went behind the curtain and helped pull the baby out of Rogue's butt, and was still crying. Could you believe it? Rogue was exhausted from her baby, but Mrs. Lesson was not. Mrs. Lesson held the baby in her hands while it was still crying and held it out to everyone. "Look at it," said Mrs. Lesson. Rogue's baby was red and had long hair and big white fists. Dun dun dun. Second. Okay. Chapter 9. Rogue's baby continued to do crying louder than a monster truck. Sonic looked at the baby really close. "Hey, Espio," said Sonic, "aren't babies supposed to look like you?" "Rogue's baby doesn't look like you, but looks like someone else I know." Sonic rubbed his chin and thought about who it was that it looked like. "Yeah, Espio, Rogue's baby looks like Knuckles," said Vector. "Cool, I'm gonna tell him." Vector ran like a crocodile would to find Knuckles to tell him what he said. Rogue was still on the ground, looking all tired and sore, and Mrs. Lesson was rubbing her butt because it was hurting from the baby that came out when she gave birth to her baby. This dang baby was still crying. Espio looked worried about it. "You guys are right. Why does that baby not look like me? Why does not that baby look like me?" Espio went over to Mrs. Lesson, who was holding the baby still and looking at it closer, and still could not see himself in the baby. "This does not make sense," said Espio to the baby. Just then, Vector came out of the door, and there was Knuckles too, huffing and puffing and looking surprised. Knuckles went right to Rogue and looked at the baby. "Wagor," he said, making that sound when he saw the baby. Parentheses, Rogue's baby that looked like him. The baby was still crying. "What is wrong with you?" yelled Knuckles at Rogue. "Why did you go and have a baby? Now I gotta be your dad." He kept yelling at her with the maddest feelings. Knuckles thought about his horoscope that he read this morning and said, "Your biggest fear will come true, so you better watch out." Now he knew what it meant. It was about Rogue's baby, because Knuckles did not want this responsibility. It was harder than having a dog. Oh my god. Oh. Gonna have to put this on pause. There's my roommate's back.
Keep going.
I can't. I actually can't.
You have to.
No, this is like I can't do it.